Hello, everybody. This is Dave Travels in Time. And today I'm going to be doing a Power Rangers Zeo review. I'm going to be reviewing what I think of Power Rangers Zeo. So I watched this. I got the DVDs a few months back, and I watched the whole series, and I enjoyed it. So basically, what happens in this story is Zed and Rita are no longer the main villains in Power Rangers. The Machine Empire takes over, led by King Mondo and Machina, yeah. And Prince Sprocket, which is their son, he's kind of like got a little bit of a gut, and he's a little guy. They're all robots, basically. And the ones that are their cronies are called the Cogs. So there's no more putties anymore. Those are bye-bye. These are the Cogs now. And basically what happens at the beginning of what happened at the end of last season, basically it looked like the command center of Zordon exploded. But we'll get into that in a second. They find this chamber, Tommy and the rest of the group, the rest of the Rangers, Rocky, Adam, Kat, and Tanya, who's going to be the new Yellow. No more Aisha anymore. She's done out of the show. She wasn't there for very long. She didn't last very long. But she was in the movie, which is another story altogether. That's another timeline. So anyway, they find this chamber, and it takes them to a revamped command center, and it looks like Zordon survived. And they have the Zeo crystals, too. They grab the Zeo crystals. So they have these new powers now. So now they're the Zeo Rangers now. Billy relinquishes his role. He's no longer the Blue Ranger. Basically, Rocky takes over his place as the Blue Zeo Ranger. And Adam becomes, instead of Black Ranger now, he's the Green Zeo Ranger. So overall, pretty good premiere. I think things get even better towards the middle and end of this season. But overall, it's a decent season, and I would recommend it. And, there's little episodes. There's a Halloween episode, too, where it's all in Adam's head, where he has this vision of, where they're all, all the Rangers are different characters and stuff. They're not themselves, and it's really weird. And then he sees, Zed and, King Mondo on the screen. It's kind of freaky. Good Halloween episode, though. And they're at the end, do you want to see a horror movie? And he's like, no. And he gets the heck out of the school. He's like, I ain't watching no horror movie. Good episode, though. And so we actually get a return of another Ranger later, which I will get into. A former Mighty Morphin Ranger. There was another funny episode where it's where Rocky auditions and he gets to play this part, right? Where he's a superhero. It's pretty funny. And then Skull turns out to be the stunt double. That was funny. Good comic relief there. Oh, man. And then we get this new Ranger that comes in all of a sudden. He's called the Gold Ranger. We don't know who he is. And there was little hints, it's funny. There was little hints, right, that it was Billy, the Blue Ranger at first. But, yeah, because he's always not around when the Gold Ranger is around. And it's funny. It's what's going on here? You put two and two together, I could get how the Rangers would think that. But it turns out later, it's cool, he's got this big, huge pyramid Megazord. It's pretty cool. And it turns out it's not Billy, though. It's actually, his name is Trey from another planet, Trey of Triforia. And, yeah, really, he's got a really cool, outfit and a really cool Megazord. And, man, it's so cool. But his powers are, diminishing, so he basically needs somebody to take over. So, basically, what happens is... And basically, there's, more than one Trey. It's kind of cool. So, there's this cool effect where there's more of him. It's pretty cool. So, basically, he needs somebody to take over his powers for a little while. So, then we get the surprise return of another Ranger. And this Ranger is, in fact... the former original Red Ranger, Jason. Tommy selects him. First they're going to try and have Billy do it, but he can't do it. So he gets Jason, And I think that's just so cool. Oh, and one other thing I forgot. Um, Before we get into that, though, uh, Tommy's brother, Jason David Frank's real brother, plays his brother in this show. It's pretty cool. And unsadly, he committed suicide a year after this. But David Trueheart, it's pretty cool that that character got in. But anyway, back to Jason. So basically, he's selected as the new Gold Ranger, and the powers work, so he gets to be the new Gold Ranger. Pretty cool. Pretty damn cool, man. Um, Now, obviously, it's funny. When I first saw Power Rangers, actually, it was like towards the end of Jason and stuff, because I was a little kid back then. But I basically got to see the marathon of him and the rest of the original Rangers, like Trini and Zach after. So basically, I was towards the end. So I basically saw towards the end of them, and then when they transferred to Rocky and all that stuff. So when I saw the marathon though before Zeo, then I formed an attachment with them. But this is when I was real little, I was a little tiny kid back then. But it was fun to see Jason be the Gold Ranger, and it was fun to rewatch this because I think I've missed a bunch of episodes because obviously I was doing school, just getting into elementary school and stuff at that time. So when this was aired, so that was cool. But it's cool to just see all these episodes again, and it holds up pretty well. The Megazords themselves, like towards the end, I don't know if they'd be one of my personal favorites. I think I like some other Megazords better, but we'll get into that in another video. That's for another time. I do like the outfits, though. The Rangers are pretty cool, like the star and then the different symbols for the Zeo Rangers. And Jason falls for this girl, in the show, too. It's pretty cool. She was part of this gang, but just becomes good. But yeah, I'd say this is a pretty good show. I like the theme song too. It's like a takeoff from the Mighty Morphin theme, but it's different. Go Zeo. You have to look it up on YouTube, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's catchy. I have it on my playlist actually on my YouTube channel. So anyway, and then what else happens? What other important information happens that I found interesting? Well, I didn't like the way they treated Billy in this show. I will admit that. The way they treated Billy in this show was appalling. The way they basically made him like, okay, he's old age, now it's this other actor who sounds like the actor from MASH or something, yeah. The lead actor. And it's just so weird. And like the mannerisms and stuff are so like so different. But so it was just weird just having that episode where he like suddenly aged. And then I got the picture later. I found out, oh, okay, he was basically let go. Or he didn't like the way that he was treated, so he left. So, because unfortunately there was one producer that was homophobic, which is so messed up and effed up. But anyway, yeah, I don't really like that episode at all, the way they treated, his character at the end. And then it's not even his voice when he suddenly regains, when he de-ages back to his normal self. It's some other actor that doesn't do a great job of doing the voice. Oh, man, that was bad. Yeah, so I'd say that episode is like, oh my gosh. Oh, man, embarrassing. Yeah, that's messed up the way he was treated. David Yost, who plays Billy, man. Just so messed up. But luckily, he's been in the Power Rangers special recently, Once and Always, and he's in Cosmic Fury, the new season, so at least he's finally getting a redemption, About time. About time. So yeah, I do like this season, though. Out of all the seasons, well, eventually I'll do a ranking of like all of them at some point, so I'm not going to even go there. But out of 10, I'll rank this like about an 8.5, just due to the fact that, the way Billy was treated, his character was appalling. So I can't give this a full 9 or 10, but I'll give it an 8.5 just because it was cool having the new powers. King Mondo was a good villain, and Prince Sprocket and all of them. And Prince Gasket was a good villain. So Prince Gasket was another one. He came in when Mondo was injured, and he kind of wanted to take over permanently, but that didn't end up happening. And his girlfriend Archerina, yeah. Yeah, so overall 8.5. Let's go with an 8.5. Pretty good. Pretty good. And then we're on to Turbo next, and there's a lot that happens on to Turbo. I'll do a review of that. So anyway, guys, take care. Hope you have a good one. That's my review of Power Rangers Zeo. Take care. Peace. Hope you have a good one. Bye for now.